From having nothing to a life of everything, what was the secret of these people? Ralph Lauren's life is one of the most powerful examples of how imagination can overcome limited means. He was born in 1939 in the Bronx, New York, to a Jewish immigrant family. His real name was Ralph Lifshitz. His father was a house painter and his mother a homemaker. The family was poor, but from an early age, Ralph was determined to stand out. Even as a child, he had a special interest in clothing. For him, clothes were not just something to wear, they were a way to express identity. He would stand in front of the mirror and dream. He didn't imagine joining the world of the rich and elegant. He imagined creating the clothes that world would wear. Ralph dropped out of college and later joined the army. When he returned, he had neither a degree nor money, but his imagination and vision were strong. At that time, luxury in fashion was defined by Europe. France and Italy were the heart of style. In America, there was no brand synonymous with elegance. Ralph noticed this gap and asked himself, why can't there be an American kind of elegance? In 1967, with only $50,000 in capital, he founded his own brand, Polo Ralph Lauren. Back then, narrow ties were in fashion. Ralph went the opposite direction, designing wide, bold, colorful ties. At first, no one was interested, but one day the major department store, Bloomingdale's, noticed his ties. They agreed to sell them on one condition: he had to change the brand's name. Ralph refused. "My brand is my identity," he said. In the end, the store gave in, and the ties were sold under the name Polo Ralph Lauren. It was the first step in what would become a revolution in the fashion world. For Ralph Lauren, fashion was never just about making clothes, it was about creating a way of life. Polo came to represent a refined, free, and classic American style. After the ties came men's collections, then women's designs. In 1972, a new symbol was born, the shirt with the small Polo player logo on the chest. That simple emblem soon became a global symbol of status and elegance. Ralph's goal wasn't wealth, but to make class something you could wear. By the late 1970s, the Ralph Lauren brand had become more than fashion. It was a philosophy of living. In Polo advertisements, models posed in country estates, polo fields, and classic cars. These images didn't just portray luxury, they represented an aspirational dream. People weren't just buying clothes, they were buying a piece of that dream. Ralph Lauren was less a designer, more a storyteller. His collections blended different facets of American spirit and history: the energy of the Wild West, the refinement of Ivy League style, British classicism, and rustic warmth, all woven into his designs. Cinema further strengthened his vision. In 1974, Ralph Lauren designed all the clothes worn by Robert Redford in The Great Gatsby. The film cemented his brand's image of timeless elegance. Later, in Annie Hall, Diane Keaton's iconic and androgynous style, inspired by Ralph's designs, deepened the bond between fashion and film. By then, Ralph Lauren was not just a designer, he was a symbol of American culture. In the 1980s, his empire expanded rapidly. Ralph Lauren was no longer just a clothing brand, it was a world. With Ralph Lauren Home, he entered the world of luxury home decor, followed by perfumes, restaurants, and sportswear collections. Everything revolved around the same ideals: quality, elegance, and authenticity. Ralph was also passionate about classic cars. Today, his private collection includes some of the world's most valuable automobiles. Reaching the top was not easy. In the 2000s, global competition intensified and fashion changed rapidly. In an era where luxury became democratized and trends moved faster than ever, the Ralph Lauren brand faced challenges, but he never abandoned his vision. "Quality never goes out of style," he said. In 2015, he stepped down as CEO, but remained the heart of his brand. Even now, he has the final say on his collections. In his private life, Ralph Lauren lives simply, the opposite of the glamour his brand projects. He married Ricky Lauren in 1964, and together they have 3 children. He has always been known as a devoted family man. Despite his fame, he never saw himself merely as a fashion designer. For him, design was about showing people not who they are, but who they want to be. "I don't design clothes. I design dreams," he once said. Today, Ralph Lauren's personal fortune is worth billions, but his true legacy goes far beyond numbers. He is the man who made the American dream wearable. His journey from the poor streets of the Bronx to the world's most prestigious runways and boutiques is a story of vision, grit, and imagination. Ralph Lauren's story is, quite simply, the story of a kingdom born from a sewing machine. He didn't just design clothes, he created an attitude, an elegance, a world. The journey that began in the Bronx became an empire built on imagination. And perhaps the quote that best sums up his entire career is one of his own. "Style is about who you are, not about money. Elegance is an attitude. I just gave that attitude something to wear." Oprah Gail Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954 in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. She had a difficult childhood. Her family struggled financially and living conditions were very limited. During her early years, she experienced family problems and personal trauma. As a teenager, she moved to Nashville, Tennessee to live with her father. While continuing her education, she began to stand out both at school and in her community. During high school, she earned the title of Miss Black Nashville. She later attended Tennessee State University, where she studied speech and performing arts. Although she briefly left the university, she eventually returned and completed her degree. Oprah Winfrey's media career began with a job at a local radio station. In 1976, she moved to Baltimore and became the host of a TV show called People Are Talking. Her warm, natural, and emotional approach quickly captured viewers' attention. This success led to her transfer to Chicago, where she hosted AM Chicago. Within a short time, she turned the struggling program into a huge success, becoming one of Chicago's most popular television personalities. In 1986, Oprah Winfrey launched her own national talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show. The program rapidly became the most watched daytime show in the United States. In its first year, it aired on more than 120 stations nationwide and reached millions of viewers. Oprah revolutionized the talk show genre. Unlike the gossip and scandal-driven programs of the time, her show focused on personal growth, inspiring stories, and heartfelt conversations. This approach elevated the program's reputation and transformed Oprah from a TV host into a cultural role model. From the 1990s onward, Oprah continued to expand her influence in the media industry. In 2000, she launched her own magazine, The Oprah Magazine, which became a major success, particularly among women readers. In 2011, she founded her own television network, the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN. Although the network faced financial challenges in its early years, it gradually gained strength with major interviews and high-quality content. In 2018, Oprah signed a deal with Apple to produce exclusive content for Apple TV+. Through programs like Oprah's Book Club and The Oprah Conversation, she extended her influence into the digital media world. Oprah Winfrey is also a successful actress and producer. Her performance in the 1985 film The Color Purple earned critical accolades and an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. She later appeared in films such as Beloved, The Butler, and Selma. She also participated in Broadway projects and worked as a producer on several films. Throughout her career, Oprah Winfrey has been known not only for her media achievements, but also for her philanthropy. She has supported numerous projects in the fields of education, women's rights, and poverty alleviation. One of her most significant social initiatives is the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, established to provide quality education for young girls. Over time, Oprah Winfrey became one of the world's wealthiest and most influential women. In 2003, she made history as the first Black woman to become a billionaire. Yet, beyond her material success, she is most celebrated for inspiring hope, confidence, and self-awareness in millions of people. Her story has become a symbol of perseverance, faith, and determination, a testament to overcoming adversity and achieving global success. Warren Buffett is one of the world's most renowned and successful investors. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, Buffett is celebrated for his long-term approach to investing. His path to wealth was built on patience, analytical skill, and a disciplined investment philosophy. Growing up in a modest family in Nebraska, Buffett showed an early talent for making money. He developed his entrepreneurial spirit through small ventures, such as delivering newspapers and selling chewing gum. Even as a child, he became fascinated by the stock market, purchasing his first stock at the age of 11. This early curiosity marked the first step toward his lifelong journey in finance. After finishing high school, Buffett attended the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, later transferring to the University of Nebraska, where he earned his degree in economics. However, the real turning point when he studied under Benjamin Graham at Columbia Business School. Graham, the pioneer of value investing, taught that opportunities arise when stocks trade below their intrinsic value. Deeply influenced by Graham's ideas, Buffett combined this philosophy with his own insights, forming a strategy centered on investing in reliable, fundamentally strong companies for the long term. After completing his education, Buffett briefly worked for Benjamin Graham, before founding his own investment partnership, Buffett Partnership Ltd., in 1956. The firm focused on finding undervalued stocks and holding them for long-term gains, and it quickly achieved remarkable returns. By the mid-1960s, Buffett had taken control of a textile company called Berkshire Hathaway and transformed it into an investment holding company. This decision became the cornerstone of his fortune. Over time, he moved away from textiles and reinvested the capital into sectors such as insurance, finance, energy, media, and consumer goods. Buffett's investment philosophy is based on simplicity rather than complex formulas. He has always advocated investing only in businesses one truly understands. His investments in companies such as Coca-Cola, American Express, and The Washington Post are prime examples of this principle. Ignoring short-term market fluctuations, he has consistently prioritized long-term stability. In his view, the best investment is a wonderful company at a fair price. Despite his vast wealth, Buffett has chosen to live simply. He still resides in the modest Omaha home he purchased in the 1950s. Known for his frugality, he avoids luxury consumption. For him, money is not a symbol of status, but a tool that comes with responsibility. He has pledged to donate most of his fortune to charitable causes. Together with Bill and Melinda Gates, he co-founded the Giving Pledge, encouraging billionaires to commit a majority of their wealth to philanthropy. Buffett stands not only as a legendary investor, but also as a symbol of patience, self-discipline, and the power of long-term thinking. His story offers a powerful contrast to the dream of getting rich quickly. It is a journey shaped by knowledge, time, and strong ethical values. Coco Chanel, whose real name was Gabrielle Bonheur Chanel, was born in 1883 in Saumur, France. Her life began with hardship. After her mother's death, she and her sister were placed in an orphanage by their father. There, she learned to sew, taking her first step into the world of design. In her youth, Chanel was interested in music and earned the nickname Coco during the time she performed as a singer. However, she soon abandoned her music career and turned to fashion. In 1910, she opened her first shop in Paris, starting with hat making before quickly expanding into women's clothing design. Her creations emphasized simplicity and comfort, standing in stark contrast to the overly ornate and restrictive fashions of the time. The suit she introduced in 1925 was inspired by men's tailoring and offered women a new sense of freedom. She also revolutionized fashion with the little black dress, transforming black from a symbol of mourning into one of elegance and practicality. Chanel's influence extended beyond clothing. In 1920, she launched the perfume Chanel No. 5, which became an iconic symbol of feminine sophistication. Despite facing personal and professional challenges, including the disruptions of World War II, Chanel never gave up. After temporarily halting her business, she made a powerful comeback to the fashion world. She passed away in Paris in 1971, but her brand and legacy continued to flourish long after her death. Coco Chanel's story is one of triumph over adversity, the journey of a woman who rose from poverty and abandonment to build her own empire. She transformed women's fashion forever with her commitment to understated elegance, comfort, and originality.